Hey guys, Aaron Zagarba here, and today this video is going to be a little serious. So we all know about AI. We all know that recently a lot of jobs have been taken or heavily modified for the quote unquote progress that AI will make. And the reason why I'm making this video is for a lot of reasons, but of course, since my field is in communication arts and video production and filmmaking and art in general, it's going to affect me at some point. Luckily, at least so far, it hasn't affected me, but I know it has affected a lot of other creators out there. That's all kinds of artists. That's music artists. That's people who do actual video production like I do. There's people that do animations and all this kind of stuff. And the constant churning out of just this slop because they know it will get clicks. It's very disappointing. I know there's not really necessarily a way to truly put a stop to it. AI is here to stay. And that is the unfortunate truth. But that doesn't mean we can try to support actual creators who are actually creating actual good stuff. And, like, for instance, there's a lot of great animated series out there on YouTube and other, small platforms and things like that. Of course, a lot of great, music, indie music and stuff like that. That's not just like this popular mainstream just garbage that people are putting out, like Disney and for music it would be Lizzo and all these just really just garbage stuff that is backed by massive corporations and companies and stuff like that, and that's just churned out as fast as humanly possible to keep up with the amount of consumerism that is going on. There are some hidden gems. Now this is older now at this point, but honestly, at least when it comes to the actual story aspect of it, is everywhere at the end of time when it comes to music. Now, it is a compilation technically of a lot of other older ballroom music that already technically exists, but it's under the context of this was someone's life, and you're basically hearing their life basically through music. And then, of course, over time, that person has dementia, or something like it, and basically their brain degrades over time, and you can hear that in the music, and it becomes to the point where it is unrecognizable. And it truly shows, like, the horrors of it. But it is an artistic piece, and also the artwork, too. I cannot remember the name of the artist that actually created the artwork, but the actual name of the artist that created the actual soundtrack is Leland Kirby. I feel really bad not remembering the actual artist because I've watched multiple videos that break down the whole thing that mention both of them, and from what I remember, they were both good friends, so they actually collabed together to make it. But the art, if you look at it, slowly degrades into something completely unrecognizable. Like, at first you can tell, oh, this is a vase or whatever, until eventually it's just completely just gibberish. You can't, the human eye just can't understand or the brain can't understand what is going on. AI, it's supposed to be a tool, but now it's become super easy and accessible for people to create quote unquote art. It's not really art. It's a computer that has learned from a group of data sets on what is supposedly defined as art that's already out there, created by other people, and then it just takes that as not really inspiration, because AI can't even have that. Like, there's a very obvious difference between an actual human getting inspiration from something, or a style, or art style, or whatever, versus just an AI who's almost copying. Really, they're kind of copying, but also jumbling a bunch of other stuff together. I am not a big AI expert, and I know all the AI people are gonna come out and scream at me about this video, but they are right to an extent that yes, it is the future, but also it's not real creativity. You're not a real artist if you're claiming and you're typing in on an AI platform of some sort and generating art or videos or whatever. That's not actually being like creative. That's not like actually creating art. You're getting essentially a machine to create your quote unquote stuff that you made, which you didn't really make, but anyways, point being, it's supposed to be used as a tool, and a lot of people are using it for their own profit because they know they can easily churn out a bunch of stuff, and they can just get an AI to constantly churn out just all kinds of stuff, which is also in part due to the content farms on YouTube. And there are a lot of videos about the content farms. I'm not gonna go too deep in them. We all know it's brain rot content, just complete garbage, and it's just shown to children because they know they will latch onto that really easily because they see some characters that they recognize. I would not doubt that they get an AI to write all of this and even create some of the actual visuals for the kind of content farm content. I want to see us, the main part of this video that I want to get across, I want to see more people put more of an effort into either supporting or creating indie projects. And I know a lot of people already probably do this, but I really think it's time to really push towards that, because we got Disney that's creating garbage that's uninspired, and that they're just creating remakes at this point. And then of course you just, things aren't like, they aren't the same. I feel like you do got these much smaller creators, but we need to get them seen. We need to get more viewership onto these indie projects, whether they're a game or a show or an animation series or whatever. We need to, at the very least, try to promote it and try to like get the word out about these things, because these people, you know, they're putting their heart and soul into this, and they don't have the backing that these absolutely massive corporations have. Yeah, it's saddening, and we cannot let these massive corporations just take control, because then everything is just gonna be just garbage. There's gonna be like no point. We let that kind of stuff continue. And the best way to do that is by supporting independent creators, whether they're music artists, whether they are painters, whether they are sculptors or filmmakers or animators, whatever it is. We need to be backing them all the way. And yeah, because that's kind of the stuff that I do. I do video production. I do a lot of live action stuff, and obviously I've noticed there's been a much more of a shift towards animation, which does make it easier to be able to work with actual scenes you want to do and stuff, because you can do a whole lot more with animation than you can actually do with an actual physical camera. But that is particularly the field that I specialize in. But yeah, we need to be back, and we need to be supporting these independent projects. Also, just cut off subscriptions for these massive corporations. It may not affect them really hardly at all, but like, it's at least nice to know that they're not getting money from us, because we're not supporting them and we're not giving them the attention that they really want. But yeah, hopefully this video was just kind of made people think a little bit, because normally I make videos on like all kinds of video production stuff and how to use equipment, how to do this or whatever, and like different projects that I've made over the years and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I felt like this was necessary to make, because it's important. Art is very important to the human experience in general, no matter where you're from. And it is saddening to see it degraded in that kind of way. But yeah, let's support our independent creators.